I picked up a second-hand accordion in the marketplace one day. My big inspirations being the Limburg band Rowan Haze.
Okay, yeah.
Pokes. But I didn't really play a lot. And then I had some time off, let me put it like that. I had a stroke, and when I was recovering from that, I had lots of time on my hands, and I decided to try to play along with the CDs I had.
Okay.
And also, having been through that episode, made me rethink priorities in life a little bit. To watch a new starting band called Mr. Irish Bastard, and I chatted to them a bit, and then all of a sudden, on St. Patrick's Day, it was 8 years ago or something, they sent me an email like, hey, listen, we said goodbye to our accordion player, do you want to be on the road with us? And I sent them a really long email that I wouldn't do it because I was an old man and I'd never played in a band and I had no experience, and I was just sort of rereading the email to correct the language, and I thought, well, maybe this is not a clever email to send at all. And then I just sent him a very short email. Sounds like a cool idea. Which songs are on the set list? I figured that might be an appropriate email, but I wasn't in band, so I was just finding my way. And they sent me an email with 13 song titles. By that time, I had 1.5 CDs. I had them at home, and I spent like a fortnight practicing every night. Drove down to Münster, which still is their hometown, for one rehearsal because they also had a new drummer at the time. And then the funny thing is they showed, when I arrived there, they showed me their rehearsal space. Playing Mr. Cool, I said, oh, this is a very nice program. And we played the 13 songs, and they said, see you next week in Hamburg.
Sure.
And then I was on a tour as a support band. Mr. Icebreast was the support band for Fiddler's Green, together with WWII from Ireland.
Okay, yeah.
And there I was on the Nightliner bus playing 300, 400 and 500 crowd audiences.
With Fiddler's Green?
Fiddler's Green was the main act. WWII was the second act, and we were the opening band. Okay. So after a few nights, they asked me, how long have you been doing this? I said, well, since last Thursday. And then I was hooked. We played a support slot for them. One of the bigger gigs we played so far was in Coestveld. Okay. It was an Irish punk festival with the Porters, Mr. Irish Bastard, and us. Okay. It was cool. That's very cool. This was his very first gig with the band, actually. Yeah. Okay, and you'd only been playing since the previous Thursday?
No. I've been playing a lot longer than that.
How long have you been playing the guitar and the banjo and...
I started playing guitar when I was 13, I think. Started playing in different bands when I was 14 and been doing it ever since. Okay. And I only actually picked up the banjo. I had a banjo for quite a few years already, but I only really picked it up when I started playing with this band.
Prior to that, what band were you in?
Several actually, but mostly cover bands, heavy metal bands. Okay. Okay. Kinds of things.
So this was a switch for you, genre-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was used to playing in mostly heavy metal bands or hard rock bands or whatever. Okay. So this was definitely a genre switch for me. Yeah. And I was looking for a band, and Andries actually contacted me because they needed a guitar player. And I think that if he hadn't contacted me, I would never ever thought of playing in a folk band or anything.
You never would have intentionally sought out a Celtic folk band. That would not
advertised himself as looking for a metal band, on the Facebook, and I just commented, is folk okay too? And then things went wrong. just us.
Oh well, this was like, probably all that I needed. Where's the rest of the band, by the way?
One is in the hospital.
Oh no.
At this moment, he is hopefully recovering from kidney stones. From narcose. What is that in English?
Yeah, anesthetic. Yeah.
Recovering from anesthetics after having a few rather biggish kidney stones removed.
Oh, that sounds painful just thinking about it.
And he hopes to be up and playing with us next week, a few streets down. That's a bit of a lucky shot. I've got lots of contacts from the previous bands I played in, and also yeah, basically from there I know people, and Real Mackenzies were planning a tour, and I knew before even the Real Mackenzies themselves knew that there was a chance of them playing in Rotterdam.
Okay.
And I basically was asked advice whether it would be wise to book the Real Mackenzies.
Okay.
There was a few lucky breaks there, yeah. Yeah, again it's a bit of coincidence involved there. For one, another guy, a guitarist I used to work with before this version of Bunch of Bastards came off the ground. He had a riff and a beginning of a song, and he had the feeling this should be about war, but he didn't have any lyrics, or just a few words. And just at that time I had been typing out my father's handwritten boyhood wartime memories of the Second World War episode in Rotterdam. All of a sudden my father decided to write them down, and I made it into a little booklet. And when I was busy processing the little book, he came up with this riff and the suggestion that it should be a song about the war. Mm-hmm. So I said, oh, hang on, I'll have the lyrics tomorrow. And I was watching the cover of the little book I was making for my father. There was a picture of the airplanes dropping food at the end of the war, just before the end of the war actually. The first verse is about the bombardment in May 1940. The second verse is about what my father had often told me before, but which also figures in his little book, is that him and his father, my grandfather, during the war would be watching the Allied war fleets flying to and fro Germany. And that would give them hope. Of course, they knew what those planes were doing in Germany, but still, for them, it meant hope that the occupation would end. And the third verse is the food droppings, the food sorties near, among other places, Rotterdam, which meant food for the people that were indeed towards the end of the war. Apparently, hundreds of people a week. I don't know if it's true. Were dying from hunger, but he managed to find filmed period material, enough of it, to construct a video. And although we are all amateurs, both musically and in songwriting, and also in the video editing, I think he did a great job, because every time in the chorus the food droppings are mentioned, you will actually see a food sortie.
That's nice.
Not necessarily just outside Rotterdam, it might have been outside Leiden, but anyway, it goes along with the song really nice.
And it's a very moving and emotional piece.
I cannot judge anymore, because I wrote it and I've heard and seen it so often that it's impossible now for me to judge.
Well, from what I saw today,
was very moved.
From what I saw today, well done.
Thank you.